Let's talk about a huge shift in AI that's happening right now, mostly under the radar. Remember that feeling? You knew something was coming, but life, well, it still felt pretty normal. That's kind of the question with AI today. Are we in that same quiet before a massive storm? This comes from an AI founder who thinks the gap between polite conversation and reality is getting way too big. He says this isn't some future guess. For people deep in tech, the disruption is already here. In his story, new AI models dropped from OpenAI and Anthropic. And that was the tipping point.
He literally just describes what he wants in plain English now, and the AI builds the entire thing.
And this shows the massive change. AI is not just a tool anymore. It's becoming an autonomous worker. So here's the deal. AI is developing judgment and taste, skills we thought were uniquely human. So why did it hit software first? Well, it wasn't an accident. It was a really deliberate strategy. By getting good at code, AI can now speed up its own development. It's a powerful feedback loop. And this isn't sci-fi. Look at OpenAI's own documents. It's happening right now. The AI is building itself. What's happening in tech is basically the template. Law, finance, medicine, design, you're next. A lot of us think this, right? But that opinion is probably based on seriously outdated tech. Using the free AI today is like judging smartphones based on an old flip phone. The gap is just huge. The progress here isn't a straight line. It's a rocket ship. Capabilities are exploding faster than anyone thought. 4 to 7 months. That's how long it takes for AI's ability on complex tasks to double. Okay, so what's the move? This isn't about being helpless. It's about adapting and adapting early. Here's a real plan. Start using the best paid tools for your job. Get your finances straight. Lean into people skills. On the bright side, for all you creators and founders, the barrier to building things has basically collapsed. Seriously, this is the one habit that matters. 1 hour every day. Don't just read about AI, use it. So yeah, the future's here. It just hasn't reached your front door yet. The real question is, are you ready?
The question is, are you ready? Okay, that's what we're going to figure out. Today's podcast. So, today we're going to look at this article where the author, Matt Schumer, breaks it down, man. Throws down the gauntlet. So what Matt is saying that we are at a tipping point, just like we've been here before, just like February 2020, when we heard kind of like there's this virus in China, and and then all of a sudden all hell breaks loose and the entire Western world just completely ceases to exist. You remember those days? So Matt Schumer wants to bring us back to this time, and he's saying something as big is happening, just like with COVID. But most of us weren't paying close attention. The stock market was doing great. Your kids were in school. You were going to restaurants and shaking hands and planning trips. If someone told you they were stockpiling toilet paper, you would have thought they'd been spending too much time on a weird corner of the internet, right? And so he's making this same sort of connection. I think we're in this, this seems overblown phase right now, right? And something much bigger is happening with COVID. So this is the argument he's making. Something is happening with AI that just dropped February 5th. And he's like, I know, man. I know because it happened to me first. So he says, I know this is real because it happened to me. Here's the thing, nobody outside of tech, quite understands. Yet the reason so many people in the industry are sounding the alarm now is because this already is happening to us. So my man is making the argument that he's the canary in the coal mine. He's the one that is experiencing it on the front lines because he's in this field, and this is his job, what he's doing every day. We're telling you what already occurred in our own jobs and warning you that you're next. This guy's really laying it on thick. Okay. For years, AI has been improving steadily, big jumps here and there, but then he says, on February 5th, 2 major AI labs released new models on the same day. Chat GPT 5.3 Codex from OpenAI and Opus 4.6 from Anthropic. All right? And something clicked. Not like a light switch, more like the moment you realize water has been rising all around you and now it's up to its chest. Okay? That's that's the type of seriousness that's the weight he wants to give to his argument. So he says, bold letters, I am no longer needed for the actual technical work of my job. I am no longer needed. So he's saying that this revelation that he's experiencing is going to ripple through the economy. It's going to ripple through the world of medicine, through fintech, through every segment that you can possibly imagine. And he goes on. I describe what I want built in plain English, and it just appears. Not a rough draft I need to fix, the finished thing. I tell the AI what I want, walk away from my computer and for 4 hours and come back to find the work done. Not just done, but done well, done better than I would have done it myself, with no corrections needed. A couple of months ago, I was going back and forth with AI, guiding in, making edits. Now I just describe the outcome and leave. So what he's talking about is what's commonly known as vibe coding. And it's good to have somewhat of a coding background, because then you're talking to the AI and it's doing something and it'll find an error and you kind of got to debug it within the framework of the tool that you're using. But this guy is saying that those days are over. And let me give you an example of what this actually looks like in practice. I'll tell the AI, I want to build an app. Here's what it should do. Here's roughly what it should look like. Figure out the user flow, the design, all of it. You do it. And it does it. It writes tens of thousands of lines of code. Then, and this is the part that would have been unthinkable a year ago, the AI opens the app itself. It clicks through the buttons. It tests the features. It uses the app the way a person would. If it doesn't like how something looks or feels, it goes back and changes it on its own. It iterates like a developer would, fixing and refining until it's satisfied. Only once it has decided the app meets its own standards does it come back and to me and say, it's ready for you to test. And when I test it, it's usually perfect. I'm not exaggerating what my Monday looked like. This is what my Monday looked like this week. I'm not exaggerating, but this is what my Monday looked like this week. So he's saying that COVID moment in February, we were like, if somebody told us in February of 2020 that they were stockpiling toilet paper, right, we would have thought they were nuts. Then, come March, the news, all the toilet paper's gone. People are going crazy. They're hoarding the toilet paper. Okay, so he continues. But it was the model that was released last week, GPT 5.3 Codex, that shook me the most, right? Everybody's talking about Claude Code, oh my God. And so this guy is saying this GPT model is where the revolution starts. It wasn't just executing my instructions, it was making intelligent decisions. It had something that felt it had something that felt for the first time like judgment and taste. The inexplicable sense of knowing what the right call is that people always said AI would never have. This model has it, or something close enough that the distinction started not to matter. All right? So he's saying the AI had a certain personality or a certain sense of judgment and reason, and it wasn't just doing what AI was trained to do, which was to validate and to statistically see which word was going to come out next. And it was actually doing things that required reason. And if you've ever worked with AI, you know that it just loves to hallucinate, and that reason and critical thought is like not its strong point. So he continues. The experience that tech workers have had over the past year of watching AI go from helpful tool to does my job better than I do is the experience everyone else is about to have. Law, finance, medicine, accounting, consulting, writing, design, analysis, customer service. Not in 10 years. The people building these systems say 1 to 5 years. Some say less. And given what I've seen in just the last couple of months, I think less is more likely. But I tried AI, and it wasn't that good. I hear this consistently. I understand it because it used to be true. So he's going to go through what we've all experienced. And I've had some fights with AI over certain sort of issues, hot button issues. And I was able to break it on a number of times just using sheer logic and saying, you're reversing yourself. What are you talking about? So on and so forth. And so let's skip ahead here. He says, I think of my friend who's a lawyer. I keep telling him to try using AI at his firm, and he keeps finding reasons it won't work. It's not built for his specialty. It made an error when he tested it, and he doesn't understand the nuance of what he does. And I get it. But I've had partners at major law firms reach out to me for advice because they tried the current versions and they see where this is going. Only one of them, the managing partner at a large firm, spends hours every day using AI. He told me it's like having a team of associates available instantly. He's not using it because it's a toy. He's using it because it works. And he told me something that stuck with me every couple of months. It gets significantly more capable for his work. He said if it stays on this trajectory, he expects it'll be able to do most of what he does before long. And he's a managing partner with decades of experience. He's not panicking, but he's paying very close attention. So he goes through a breakdown really quickly of the timeline, which I think is interesting. And we'll go through it really quickly. And then I'm going to play the video that I played at the very start again, which is Notebook LM summarizing this lengthy article. And the link is in the description. So if you want to learn more, you can check out the actual article that I'm reading here. So let me make the pace of improvement concrete, because I think this is the part that's hardest to believe if you're not watching closely. All right. So in 2022, AI couldn't do basic arithmetic reliably. I remember those days. I remember that this discussions we'd have. It would confidently tell you that 7 times 8 is 54. By 2003, it couldn't pass the bar exam. It could pass the bar exam by 2003. By 2004, it could write working software and explain graduate level science. In late 2005, some of the best engineers in the world said they had handed over the most of their coding to coding work to AI. And then, this is the date that he says everything changed. On February 5th, 2026, new models arrived that made everything before them feel like a different era. If you haven't tried AI in the last few months, what exists today would be accurate and unrecognizable to you. All right? And so this is the argument that he's making, that because he's in the tech field and he's on the front lines, that he's seeing the canary in the coal mine. He's seeing the shift, and he's seeing the changes that are on the horizon. So let's see what he says is coming. Legal work. AI can already read contracts, summarize case law, draft briefs, and do legal research at a level that rivals junior associates. The managing partner I mentioned isn't using AI because it's fun. He's using it because it's outperforming his associates on many tasks. Financial analysis, building financial models, analyzing data, writing investment memos, generating reports. AI handles these completely and is improving fast. Writing content, marketing copy, reports, journalism, technical writing. The quality has reached a point where many professionals can't distinguish AI outputs from human work. Just be careful of those M dashes. There's all this talk about M dashes being the secret tell that you're using AI. Software engineering. This is a field I know best. A year ago, AI could barely write a few lines of code without errors. Now it writes hundreds of thousands of lines that work correctly. Large parts of the job are already automated, not just simple tasks, but complex multi-day projects. There will be far fewer programming roles in a few years than there already are today. Medical analysis, reading scans, analyzing lab results, suggesting diagnoses, reviewing literature. AI is approaching or exceeding human performance in several areas. Customer service, genuinely capable agents, not frustrating chatbots of 5 years ago, are being deployed now, handling complex multi-step problems. So this is what he the argument is laying out, and it's quite a lengthy document. So I threw this document. See how long it is? There we go. All right, so the link is in the description if you want to read it yourself. And then I just threw it into Notebook LM, and I wrote some instructions, a prompt for it to sort of break it down quickly and easily so we could check it out. So let's watch it again, and then that'll be it for today's broadcast. All right, here we go.
Okay, let's talk about a huge shift in AI that's happening right now, mostly under the radar. Remember that feeling? You knew something was coming, but life, well, it still felt pretty normal. That's kind of the question with AI today. Are we in that same quiet before a massive storm? This comes from an AI founder who thinks the gap between polite conversation and reality is getting way too big. He says this isn't some future guess. For people deep in tech, the disruption is already here. In his story, new AI models dropped from OpenAI and Anthropic. And that was the tipping point.
He literally just describes what he wants in plain English now, and the AI builds the entire thing.
And this shows the massive change. AI is not just a tool anymore. It's becoming an autonomous worker. So here's the deal. AI is developing judgment and taste, skills we thought were uniquely human. So why did it hit software first? Well, it wasn't an accident. It was a really deliberate strategy. By getting good at code, AI can now speed up its own development. It's a powerful feedback loop. And this isn't sci-fi. Look at OpenAI's own documents. It's happening right now. The AI is building itself. What's happening in tech is basically the template. Law, finance, medicine, design, you're next. A lot of us think this, right? But that opinion is probably based on seriously outdated tech. Using the free AI today is like judging smartphones based on an old flip phone. The gap is just huge. The progress here isn't a straight line. It's a rocket ship. Capabilities are exploding faster than anyone thought. 4 to 7 months. That's how long it takes for AI's ability on complex tasks to double. Okay, so what's the move? This isn't about being helpless. It's about adapting and adapting early. Here's a real plan. Start using the best paid tools for your job. Get your finances straight. Lean into people skills. On the bright side, for all you creators and founders, the barrier to building things has basically collapsed. Seriously, this is the one habit that matters. 1 hour every day. Don't just read about AI, use it. So yeah, the future's here. It just hasn't reached your front door yet. The real question is, are you ready?
The question is, are you ready? It's exciting. So, on that sort of note, or that line of thought, we're going to be launching this open claw, right? VPS, virtual private server. You throw that thing up in there because it's so powerful. It's somewhat a little bit dangerous. So you have to be very worried about, not worried, but you have to be very conscious of security. You can't have this thing just have access to everything. It'll empty your bank account and start some sort of crypto coin, behind your back. So let me know what you think. What advances have you seen? Is this leap that this gentleman is talking about, are you experiencing it in your field, in your profession? All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Take care. Au revoir.